Hi, I'm Elliot Bailey, and I just went to the New Student Dialogue on September 12th, 2011 for 9/11 and religious plurality or something like that. I don't know. Hard word to say. But so the first thing I thought was interesting was how they gave us that like list of the instructions, and they went through it step by step by step, and then like we had to analyze and like discuss like the rules to dialogue, which I thought were really odd because kind of I always thought dialogue was just talking. But then once we like got started in the actual thing, and we had to discuss the difference between dialogue and debate and discussion. And I didn't really know that there's a difference between dialogue, discussion, and debate. And but after learning, I understood that debate's more of like, this is my point, I'm trying to prove it to you. Discussions, oh, I'm just going to say something to sound smart, and there's like lots of us, and it's kind of like a lot what like classes like a lot of the time. And then dialogue is when you're just having a conversation between two people and trying to like understand the other person's viewpoint and not like attack them. But that was interesting because I feel like that's the first time I've ever actually been in like a dialogue, like simply like with the purpose of just trying to understand another person's viewpoint. Uh, then they had us fill out a chart that listed like our social identities of like gender identity, physical sex, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, spiritual identity, and others. And then we had to say if it was what you think the most about and what you think the least about, which I thought that was kind of odd because if it's who I am, I don't really think about it. It's just what I do, and it's just who I am as a person. And then I did think it was interesting to think about what when we discuss what affects how people view us the most and how we view others. Because like if you're a white upper class male in America, you're gonna be viewed as one of the more dominant people in society than compared to a black like person living in the ghetto. And then they had us do identity timeline, which that was like or identity timeline for our religion, which I thought that was really like a kind of a cool thing to do to like try to like write out on just one piece of paper, which it was rather hard for me to write down like my religion on one piece of paper because I take my faith very seriously, and so to just try to define it in like one piece of paper, like everything that it is to me and what it is and like how I came to my religion and stuff like that, I felt like that was difficult, and other people agreed with me that they found that be difficult, and then other people saw it as something like they didn't even have enough to write, and I felt like I didn't have enough space to write it all. And so it was really interesting to see other people's perspectives on that. The thing that I found the most difficult in the entire dialogue was when you're talking to someone to not like, because it's like been ingrained in your religion and my religion that you're supposed to, like as a Christian, which I am, you're supposed to try to reach out to others and make them come to your faith. And so that was really difficult for me to not just be like, well, I understand why you say that, but this is why I believe this, and then like maybe give them like a passage of scripture. So that was really difficult for me to stay in dialogue form of just hearing their viewpoint and not doing anything like and just agreeing or listening to them and then sharing my own experience, and not being like, okay, well I see where you say this, but I can point to something that would maybe show you a different way. And I don't know if I just wasn't doing dialogue right, but I don't know. That was it was kind of challenging for me to do that. Then something I found interesting was how I always know that there's like lots of different perspectives on religion, but like some people take it very seriously, and other people take it, don't listen to it at all, and then others would be like, "Oh, I'm very religious," but then they wouldn't affiliate with any religion. They kind of have like their own separate thing, which I understand why some people would do that. Then we read an article, or we read three different types of religion, religious pluralism, and the first one prohibitive of like you're not allowed to talk about it at all. If you're not allowed to talk about your religion, then would it even really be a religion if you can't talk about it? That's the first thing I got out of that. And then when it said relative religious pluralism, um, just basically saying coexist. How can three religions coexist like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam when all three of them identify the same city as a holy city, and they're all supposed to convert others or kill the other type. How in the world will they ever coexist? And then the last one of authentic religious pluralism. I think that's like the best way to go about it. But like, you can share your faith with someone without really attacking them. You can just say, "Well, this is what I believe," and if they were to share their faith with me, I would be like, "Okay." And I mean, maybe like working with them over time, you might be able to change them, but I don't know. That's just I thought. The one thing that I didn't like at all was I kind of grabbed the title because it was about 9/11, and it was today, September 12th, the 10 years and one day after the two towers fell. And I thought we would talk about it a lot, and everything like and what it like meant to us. And we really didn't talk about 9/11 at all. So I kind of felt like the title was misleading to the class. But overall, I thought the dialogue was very interesting and thought provoking. And that is all.